you can control your narrative. Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to talk about why KingAzoulay is one of the most hated men on the internet. And stay tuned till the very end because there's going to be a clip that you do not want to miss. It happens to do with the whole ending of why he is the most hated man and evidence of why he was proven guilty and admitted his guilt. So let's get this video rolling.
I uncovered something that I wish I never saw because it's so dirty and evil and unbelievable and something that I didn't think is possible for a human being to do to another person.
KingAzoulay is known to tell a bunch of stories. A lot of them sound very made up. If you don't believe his stories, don't worry, you're not the only one. A lot of people don't, as we'll see in this video right now.
So do you guys know who this KingAzoulay is? I like to call him King Asshole. The Shaolin monk trained kung fu fighting Batman wannabe. Piece of shit. The man who spams his whole life of lies across the internet for internet fame. You guys know this asshole, right? But if there's one thing, Chinese man falling in love with him, teaching him kung fu in the back of the restaurant.
And I would come to him. He would move all of the tables and he would teach me kung fu. I was 10 years old. It was different and I loved it.
Worked for the FBI in counterterrorism, beat off 30 men at one time. I didn't even think that was possible. It must take a lot of skills to do that. I don't know how he did it.
Now we have KingAzoulay trying to act like he's the Karate Kid. Then he's going to list off a bunch of actors because he tries to duplicate his life to these kind of movies because he wants to be like these actors. He'll even mention one that he tries to probably talk like and tries to act like with his martial arts.
Growing up, I mean, the movies that I grew up on was like Jean-Claude Van Damme. That was my dream, to be the next Jean-Claude. Before him, it was Bruce Lee. Then we had Steven Seagal. We had Arnold. We had Sylvester Stallone. We had Jet Li. Jackie Chan.
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It helps with the channel. And subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know, do you believe the stories of KingAzoulay, or do you think it's a bunch of crap? You can write that in the comments. And now let's return to the video.
Who does he think he is, Scarface?
I got my ass kicked one time in my life. I was 13 years old. I got jumped by about 30 guys outside of a house party. After that, I purchased an Uzi. Nobody ever jumped me again. Nobody ever said anything again. I was ready to die, and I was ready to take everybody with me. Into the world of doing underground fights. And doing underground fights was amazing for me because I fought people that were much older than me. I was 16 years old, but I was making about $2,000 to $3,000 a fight. So I started doing underground fights at about the age of 15. The way it started, I was at a hookah bar. So I got into it with some of these guys and I ended up beating the fuck out of 6 of them. They were all older than me. A guy pulls out a gun and tells me to stop. I look at him and I say, shoot me. I'm not gonna shoot you. What's your name? So the fuck are you to ask me my name? I said, shoot me. He said, no. I want you to be one of us. And when he found out I was 15, he was shocked. Like we're talking somebody from the mob. And I started doing underground fights for him. I also was his bodyguard for a while. I felt very powerful.
He thinks he's Van Damme and Lionheart now.
The self-improvement lesson we can get from this part of the video is we got to learn to control our minds, or we're going to think that we're some action hero. We're going to make up things with our mind. So we got to learn to control our mind so we're not like KingAzoulay thinking that we have all these adventures. Our life is a movie. Life is not a movie, but what we can do is control our mind before we go crazy and thinking that we're some action hero when we're just normal people living everyday normal lives. But I think this is just part of his grift of the alpha male trying to scam people. What do you think? Why do you think he makes up all these stories?
And he said that he went to prison for something that he didn't do.
And after that, I got arrested. I got arrested for something that they said that I did, and I didn't do it.
Was it true? Did he go to prison? Yeah, he was telling us the truth on that. But he lied to all of us when he said he didn't do anything. And now I'm going to tell you the story of exactly what he did. Now, a warning, before I tell you guys this story, I've been doing this for a long time, and I've seen and I've heard lots of things, but never have I uncovered something as dark, evil, and sad as I did.
If you have any kids around, I would suggest that you move away from them or have them move away from you, because this part is going to be horrific. And this is one of the things that we got to learn to control our minds, or we're going to let our minds go crazy. And things like this could happen if we don't control our mind. And I just think this is the weirdest and the most gross alpha male monster I have seen on the internet thus far. So everybody, I'm going to let you watch this.
He was 18 years old. He went to a party with his brother and a bunch of his other friends. They see a girl there, 15 years old, a cheerleader, beautiful girl from high school. The party, they're all there having a good time. Him and his brother and the other friend and a few other people tell the girl, hey, come back to the party at my parents' house. We'll stop by the liquor store. We'll get some liquor. We have fake IDs. We'll have fun. We'll party. So the girl listens. She goes. She's naive. And I don't think she ever expected to happen what happened. Ben, King Asshole, his brother, Dylan, and another kid. They're all Israeli, so I guess they're very close. They all took turns taking advantage of her. I have to be careful with what I say here. In every which way possible. I'm talking from behind, the mouth. It's really bad and it's really hard to say, but they all took turns on her. She was a 15-year-old virgin. Very, very sad story. Varid, who was their friend, on July 13, 2008, at the home of defendants David and Rachel Azoulay, which are his parents. At the time, H, which I had to shorten her name because I do not want her identity revealed. At the time, H was only 15 years old and a virgin. H has suffered and continues to suffer extreme physical and emotional damages as alleged herein. At the party in Sherman Oaks, H, Catherine, and Paulina met defendants Ben and Dylan Azoulay, who are brothers. Dylan convinced H, Catherine, and Paulina to come to what he described as a party at his parents' house at Buffalo Avenue in Sherman Oaks, and Ben drove them there. So they were at a party initially, and then he convinced them all to go to his house. A highly intoxicated H is repeatedly and forcibly AR'd by at least 3 of the defendants, while the others stand by and watch. H was forcibly dragged into a bedroom by Ben, who stripped of her clothes, forced her to perform OS on him, and then oral blank on her against her will. Ben then proceeded to brutally force himself upon H, beating her and AR'd her against her will. Other boys, including Dylan and Mayer, watched while this was going on, but made no effort to stop Ben. In fact, each time she attempted to escape, she was pulled back into the room and subjected to further S assault. After Ben had finished ravaging H, he passed her to his brother Dylan, who dragged her from Ben's room to Dylan's room. While R-ing her, he bit her on the neck and Dylan and Ben then flipped H onto her stomach, face down, and she was again R'd from behind by both. During the R, one or more of the boys had sex with her. After being repeatedly R'd by Ben and Dylan inside the house, Ben and Dylan moved H to a couch in the backyard.
the one thing we can get out of this is we got to be careful who we hang out with. And if Ben Azoulay controlled his mind, this would not happen. And his parents were there, and they didn't do nothing to stop what was happening to this girl. So there's a lot of things we can learn from this and grow from there. Parents, be more mindful of your kids. Kids, be careful of who you become friends with, and learn not to believe everything you see in movies so you don't copy this. And watch who you watch online, because there are guys like this trying to prey on the young minds of people. So everybody, only you can control your narrative. And check out John Bravo's channel. This is where I got the video, and you can watch the whole entire video on there. And everybody, stay awesome and be safe.
Nothing to intervene. Rachel Azoulay watched Mayor take H, who she knew to be drunk and underage, out of the backyard through a side door and did nothing to stop them. Ben, Dylan, and Mayor were subsequently arrested and interviewed by the police. Ben and Dylan also informed the police that they had watched Mayor RH. Ben was prosecuted as an adult. Dylan and Mayor were both charged as minors. Ben admitted his guilt in open court and was convicted on the charge of violating Penal Code Section 288, blank with a minor.